Good morning, welcome to Outing Journal. Today I'm going to test the Fujifilm X-S10. So right now I'm using the built-in microphone with the low cut and then the wind reduction on, but I'm not using any kind of stabilization. By the way, I'm using the 15 to 45 millimeter with no OIS. I turn off the OIS, I turn off the digital stabilization with 1.1 crop, and I turn off the IBIS. So this is how you feel. This is the stabilization without any kind of stabilization. Again, there's some cameras such as Sony a6600, which is one of the jokes. It doesn't really matter you turn on the IBIS or off, it doesn't really make sense. The only sense is make when you are using a OIS in the lens, such as the Sony 18 to 105 f4, which is an amazing lens, have amazing OIS. So now let me turn on the IBIS and then the OIS. Sadly, I could not turn off the OIS in the 15 to 45 and turn on the IBIS only. The problem is that there is no switch. If your lens have a OIS switch, then you can turn off the OIS in the lens and turn on the IBIS only. By the way, I'm using the standard profile built-in microphone, 4K, regular 4K, not the DCI, 100 megabits per second, because majority of the camera I caught at 4K, regular 4K, 100 megabits per second. Only another camera at $1,000 price point can record DCI 4K around 223 megabits per second is the EM5 Mark III. I love that camera. Now let me turn on the IBIS and then the OIS will automatically turn on the lens. So now I have turned on the IBIS 15 to 45. So still there is no crop. We are still at 15 millimeter. I really love the 15 millimeter, which is one of my favorite lens. It's around 22.5 millimeter in the full frame. So now this is the IBIS plus OIS with the built-in microphone and low cut filter on, and then the low frequency on. Now I'm using the Volvia profile. I have put the screen back, like literally I have closed the screen, the fully articulated screen I have closed. I really do not want to rely on it because I really want to test the autofocus also, because if I'm relying on that, I'm looking like that. That's why I'm not looking at that one. As you can see from the thumbnail, the screen is fully closed. Yeah, the screen is fully closed. So this is the IBIS and OIS. My arm fully extend. I'm wearing a backpack, that's why it's a little bit struggle for me to extend my arm. Now let's turn on the digital stabilization. So now again I'm using the IBIS plus OIS and plus EIS. Now turning on the digital stabilization, it have a 1.1 crop. Again, it's like a minor crop, but it turn your 15 millimeter into a 16.5 millimeter. So let me just walk. Today I'm feeling really very hot. I'm trying my best to give you a real world vlog test, and then now let me just move like this. I can zoom in if I want. So right now 45 millimeter. Yeah, this is a 45 millimeter walking test with IBIS, OIS, and then the EIS. Let me zoom out. So right now I'm using the Pro Neck High, and then I have turned on the digital boost. OIS plus EIS plus IBIS plus digital boost. Again, digital boost is not useful for walking, it's only useful for panning. Fujifilm recommended turn it off. Let me just do a pan. Pro Neck High. Let me just zoom in. So right now we are at 45 millimeter, and let's try to walk with 45 millimeter. I'm at shutter priority. So let me just zoom out to 15 millimeter, but I'm using the 1.1 crop of the digital stabilization, so it becomes like a 16.4. Sorry, 16.5. Pro Neck standard, I personally prefer the Pro Neck High. Again, IBIS plus OIS plus EIS or the digital stabilization with 1.1 crop. We turn the 15 to 45 into 16.5. I'm handling the camera. My arm is fully extended. I'm holding the camera from the grip. So make sure to subscribe and visit outing channel. I hope you like this real world test. The low cut filter is off. The wind filter, the low wind reduction filter is also off. I'm really very getting tired right now. Subscribe and bye.